So, that didn't quite go as expected. My computer pooped itself. Decided that it didn't want to work after I turned on charging for my phone. It's all good now. I restarted it. We should be fine. We're up and good at 490 kilobytes a second. Around 480. That's fine. Let me change this back to the big one. You lock the big one. And let's restart Arch. Okay, round 2. Linux x64. Yeah. Let me full screen that. There we go. I'm not sure what probing EDD does. I might turn it off one of these times though. I don't think I need it. That off. Pull my keyboard out. Oh, don't do that. Never mind. That was a bad idea. Where's my keyboard? Oh, it's attached all the way over there. Man. So I can't pull it out too much more. Pull it out to about there, and that's it. We logged in? Come on. Don't got time to sit around and wait now. We gotta get this done quick because I gotta move to UEFI. Actually, let's just redo the whole thing. Yeah, we could redo the whole thing. I think that would be fine. So first thing we're going to be doing is CF... Nope. F disk L. Make sure our partitions are still... Okay, so we've got our boot, swap, and file system. That's good. So let's mount SDA. What is our root? That's SDA 3. It's a Linux file system. 13.5 gigs. Oh wait, I didn't give it a mount point. We need to mount it on /MNT. Forgot about that. All right. I want to scoop myself down a little more. Like my camera, I feel like it's a little weird just up there up top. Let me down the side there. Feel a little better about that one. Center that vertically. Oh, yo. Transform. Center vertically. Why don't they have a vertical center? Are you kidding me? Transform, copy transform. Nope, there is no center vertical. They removed that. Well, why would you guys remove that? That was a great tool. The OBS devs are dummies. I mean, this is great that you rewrote the entire program, but I want vertical centering, you know? Okay, let's actually do this. Mount dev SDA3 mount. Okay, so now we need to turn the swap on again. Swap on. Dev SDA2 was swap. and we leave the boot partition alone because it's BIOS, and that's just what you do. Because grub works if you leave it alone. I don't know why. And then we do arch shrew mount. All right. So let me just try the set font again. Yeah, I don't have it. Okay. Oh, I don't have it on the disk, like I don't have it on the hard drive. I have it on the CD, but I don't have it on the hard drive, if that makes sense. Oh, goodness. Okay, so let's get a display server. We'll make sure that our internet's still working. Yeah, we're good. No packet loss. We're fine. So pacman-s, that is your installation syntax. That is what you use a lot for installing stuff. It just handles all the installation for you and the building and everything, and it's just really nice. We're also going to get pack-AUR. That's important. People like to get Yowert. I'm not sure how you want to pronounce that. But it's awful, and I would just get pack-AUR. That's my favorite. Let me actually pull up the Yowert thing while we're at it here. Not pack-AUR, not Yowert. Excuse me, that was bad. Install pack-AUR because it's a bunch of commands that I never even, I never remembered. And it uses curl, so I'm not used to curl. There we go. OS Technics has it. So first things you need to get out of this terminally thing is a display server or an X server. And we're going to use Xorg. Some people like to use Wayland. I never understand why people like to use Wayland. Wayland is just gross. Just get Xorg, please. Xorg server and Xorg server utils, except plot twist, it's not server utils anymore. I just remembered, it's Xorg's apps. There we go, and then we're gonna get xinit as well. Xinit. And then what are some other basic things we could get while we're at it? Just so that we save ourselves some typing and waiting. Xorg xinit, excuse me. So we have those three. Let me just get those. Get all of them. Everything. Just hit enter through all of this. I'm just hitting enter. And you could also type Y and then hit enter to continue. If you type N and hit enter, then it stops it. I'm running low on coffee, guys. This is not looking good. Should have done this a lot quicker. This is the fun part. I get to sit and watch all of this every single time. Also, this is not scooted over right. That's what's goofing it up. So let me just unlock the big one and scoot it over just a tad. There we go. Stick it all there. Up top. Yep. There we go. Should be a little better. Maybe. There. Ooh, I like that more. I like that a lot more. Yes, right there. Perfect. More that way. There we go. And lock. Awesome. good. Phone is plugged in. Yeah. Okay, I'm gonna try to plug my phone back in without killing my computer. Give me a minute. The stream could crash though. Just saying. Alright. Okay, and let me plug it in here. Are we good? Yeah, looks like everything's okay. Awesome. That's good to know. Ow. Keep hitting my hand on the table. I don't need this in. What am I doing? Take that out. This is gonna take a long time, man. I'm gonna go brush my teeth. I'll be right back. Alrighty, I'm back. Found another charger I can use that's not connected to my computer. Saves me some trouble. Alright, that's done. So, I was gonna grab a paper and draw some pictures, but we gotta continue. So we have Xorg now. That's good. We have a way to do stuff. Oh, get out of here. What is that? I thought I closed out of Kaspersky and everything. I don't want Kaspersky on exit. Alright. Because I'm not really doing the internet thing, and I'm not really going on a browser. So I don't need it right now. Okay, so Xorg is good. Let's get ourselves a display manager. That's totally out of order, but I really want to get a display manager. Or maybe we should get everything else that we need first. Here, actually. So to get out of your changed root, just hit exit. And it puts you back at the red one. What we're going to do is we're going to generate the FS tab. Gen FS tab. And we're going to generate the FS tab for mount or SDA3. And we're going to echo it to a file called, it's going to be in mount etc. It's going to be called FS tab. There we go. All right, so now let's go back to our arch root mount. So now we're going to use nano. Let's just take a peek at the FS tab file. etc/fs tab. See, there we go. And our partition UUID is that big long number. Shift work? Yeah. This big number here is our partition ID. So if we were to be using UEFI and systemd boot, we'd have to pay attention to this. But since it's BIOS, Grub handles it for us, and we don't have to. So let's just get out of there. You can either hit Control L, or you can type clear. Both of those clear. The, what's it called? Terminal. That's the word. Is my computer okay? No, my eyes are just bad. Looks like my camera was having a problem, but I just have bad eyes. So, root at arch ISO in the new one. Dev SDA2. That's where we are right now. And we have Xorg. So, we can do a lot of stuff. First, let's do our host name. Actually, before we do all that, we should add a user and add passwords. So first thing to do is you can type password or passwd for Word. That's what you have to type because Word is too long apparently. Passwd. And you can either just type nothing after that or you can type root. I personally just leave it blank. It understands root if you don't say anything afterwards. So I just type in my new password for the root. And then it asks you to type it again. Look at that confirmation there. Okay, so password for the root user, or like the system, I now have. And I changed. And I know it myself. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a system administrator account. You can make the username whatever you want. Usually system administrators just make their name sysadmin if they want to do it the generic way. And that's just one of the easiest things for me. I could just do SYS for system, but we're going to use sysadmin. Or I could do Park City. That's another thing I could do. You know what? It's a user account. We're going to do Park City just so that it's not confusing. This is going to be my user account, so I'm going to add my username and password. To add a user, you do user add space dash m dash lowercase m. Keep the case in mind. Don't botch up the case. It's not good. Dash m space dash big G. Now, G means group. So we do space, and the group is going to be users because it's going to be a user account. And then dash S. So our user's shell is going to be in bash. I'm not sure what else you can do, but I know there's other options like ZSH or something like that. I haven't gotten into all of that. I'm kind of new to this. So we're just going to use bin bash as our shell. So after you have all of that, type your username that you want to use for your new account. So I'm just going to do Park City. All lowercase is my preference because it's just easiest to type out. You don't got to worry about the shift key or anything. Bam. User Park City is now added. That's me. So we are now going to do the password, and that's just as simple as passwd, and then you type in the username after. So Park City. And I'm just going to make my password the same as the system password because I'm the only one using this. If you had multiple accounts and you wanted to have a different password than the system password, you would just type a different password. That's it. Alright, and the password's updated successfully. So I now have a password and the system now has a password. And I have an account. So now that we have a user account, let's give this system a name. So like if you go on the Windows network and you look at all the devices connected to a certain Wi-Fi router or whatever, and you can see the computer's names, it'll say like HP, Pavilion, da-da-da-da-da, all of that junk. We're going to set one of those names for this. Otherwise, it's just going to say Arch Linux, which is weird. So we're going to use Nano for this one. I would highly suggest using Nano if you're not good with Linux and you're new to it. It's the most down-to-earth editor for the terminal. Using Vim is a bad idea if you're new. I can't stress that one enough. So Nano, we're going to edit the host name, which is the name of the system, and that's in etc. It's just called host name. There we go. So up top you can see it says file / etc host name. Oh, and we're going to just type in the name. That's all we're putting in this file. Nothing fancy. So I'm just going to name it Arch BIOS 64. And that's all we need there. So then we hit Control X in Nano, and it'll ask you save modified buffer. Hit Y for yes, and then just hit enter because we already have our file name written out. And it's written for you. So if you type nano etc host name, oh, that was the wrong one. Forgot the T. Forgot T. There we go. Host name. And Arch BIOS 64 is in the file because it's saved. So we know. Now, Control L to clear that again. Now we're going to do nano /etc/ hosts, and that's where we add our computer as like a local host. I'm not quite sure what all of that means yet, but I know it's important, so do it. The default localhost, like the generic default localhost IP that I've seen everywhere, is 127.1.0.1. Either that or it's 127.0.1.1. Yeah, that was it. It's 1.1. And then we type our host name, so Arch BIOS 64 dot local domain, and then you just type the name again, Arch BIOS 64. All right, Control X, Y for yes, enter to save. There you go. Clear that. So now we have a host name and a user account. I'm not gonna go into setting the time zone, although I feel like that'd be a good idea. Actually, I don't want to deal with that later. No, we can just set it up in XFCE afterwards. We don't need to do it right here. So let's pacman-s. We're going to install a desktop environment. Let's start with one of the most Windows 7-y ones. I like XFCE because it's fast and it works. We could get LXDE, but that one just looks like crap, so I don't know. XFCE 4. That's the desktop. And then to get all of the apps that come with it, you have to type another or install another package called XFCE 4 goodies. Okay, now that I have that desktop there, we're going to be good. Now we gotta wait for this to all install. Get them all of them. Yes, all right. So that's gonna run for a little while. Ba-da-ba. This charger is awful. I don't like it. What am I missing here? Is that not in? Come on. Okay, I'm gonna plug in the original charger I had. Oh, I put it back there. There we go. Yes. Yes. Okay. Got hair all over my phone. That's gross. It's messy down there. I'll put the guitar away. I don't need it. There. I'm gonna go get water. Alright, alright, alright. There was also chips, so I got some of those too. Have a chip, guys. I don't have chat open, by the way. Just letting you know, I don't have the chat open. But I will here in a second. Is this the live one? Yeah. Turn that down. No one's even here. Man, I've got some good timing. This is basically done now. So as you can see, installing a desktop environment takes probably, it's like the longest part of all of this is waiting. That's the hardest part, is just sitting still. Yep. Oh, I forgot to get grub. That's kind of important. We're going to do that next. Somewhere else to put my chips. And in the way. So is my water. That's dangerous. Installing GTK 3. Woo! GTK 3.0, baby. Or 3.2. I forget. Next time I do something like this, I'm going to be teaching you guys i3. Actually, I'm going to be showing you guys i3 gaps, because i3 is for people who don't know anything about i3. You need pack AUR, and you need to get the i3 gaps. Preferably the next Git version. Leading edge right there, baby. If you ever go to subreddits and you look at r/Unix porn, oh my gosh, the rices on there are so nice with i3 gaps. People really have an eye for this stuff. And Linux lets you make it real. I mean, Rainmeter with Windows can do so much, but you can't really get your custom feel without Linux. Now, if you're new to Linux, don't do Arch, unless you're like me. And I was like, hey, I want to learn this. So I spent a few weeks trying to learn Arch and installing it right away. But this is how you have to install Arch. Don't get Antergos if you want Arch. Unless you want a super reliable system that's baby-proofed. But don't get Antergos. Manjaro's gotten a good rap, but I still like to be able to install it through the terminal. Just, it's a preference. And if you're new to Linux, don't even use Arch, just use Ubuntu. I like Arch because the pacman-s, that's so small when you have to install things. It's nice just not typing as much. With Ubuntu, the commands are a lot longer. They have an add-on for Ubuntu, I heard, though, where you can actually get the pacman-like syntax. It's called pacapt, because Ubuntu uses apt and apt-get. I think it's called aptitude, something like that. I haven't used it in a long time, so I don't remember. But yeah, you can get like the pacapt, so you can do like pacapt-s, and it would basically wrap the command for pack, or it would be apt-get, like install, yada yada yada, and then apt-get update. It does all that for you. But that's a default thing for Linux. They don't got to add anything new for it, or for Arch Linux, and that's why I like it. I've also just been using it longer. And so we have a desktop environment and a display server, but we have no way to log in graphically. So we're going to get a display manager. That's the third thing you need. Normally, if I was doing something quick, I would use LXDM, which is the LXDE display manager. But I'm gonna get LightDM, which is what normally ships with XFCE. Well, nothing actually ships with XFCE, but I'm gonna get LightDM. That's the one that people usually use. It's very customizable. I love it. pacman-s LightDM, and after you get LightDM, you're going to need a greeter as well. So, we're gonna mess around with a few different greeters afterwards. Like when I get into the i3 stuff, we'll do that. Right now, I'm just going to get the generic GTK greeter. So we're going to get LightDM GTK greeter, and also the customization settings menu for that. Because you can do it in a text file, you can customize it, but I haven't gotten that far in learning this, I guess. So we're going to get one that's a little prettier. It gives you a menu and gives you buttons to press. That's what we all love, right? So we're going to get LightDM GTK greeter -settings. Did I spell settings? Settings has 2 T's. Settings. There we go. Oh, I gave it 2 I's. That was my problem. Alright, and then we hit enter. Yes. That shouldn't take too long. If you like Finding Nemo in the font of the Finding Nemo title, I found that LXDM, the login font, actually looks like Finding Nemo. I just thought that was funny and I should share that with you guys. And it's nice to be able to see all of this. I like it. Ooh, my connection's dropping. What the heck? Now it's going back up. And it's dropping again. And it's back up. What is that, Python 3? Yeah, it's getting Python 3. Turn the phone on. Just so I can talk with people. Oh, you're almost there. 89, 90, 91. Come on. You can do it. I believe in you. 94. Oh, we're so close. 95, 96. Oh, baby. It's done. Come on. Come on. There we go. There we go. It looks good. And the only difference, by the way, between BIOS and UEFI systems when you're installing is literally the boot part. Everything else is the same. You just need to make sure that the bootloader is configured correctly for both of them. And then you're golden. It's regular Arch Linux the whole way through after that. Gotta make sure I'm connected to the right Wi-Fi. I don't want to connect to the one I'm streaming on. You've got a couple here. Yeah, I'm on the right one. Okay. I'm gonna keep it on my lap in case I need it. Oh, alright, so now that we have that, let's install Grub. So, we were supposed to do that earlier, actually. Whoops. It's fine, it's not gonna mess anything up. Pacman S grub. And then we can do grub BIOS, since it's a BIOS system. Remember, grub for BIOS, and don't use grub for UEFI. Use systemd boot for UEFI. Alright. And it's good. Nope. Generating the example file. Alright, we're good. Come on. So, sorry, I was chewing on a chip there. Volume down here. Where's the charger? Get over here. That's what that one dude from Mortal Kombat says. I forget his name. It's been a long time since... Scorpion, that's his name. He's like, yeah, and he gets the chain thing, and he's like, woo, get over here. Okay, live chat's up. And I can see everybody. Sweet. And it's on my iPhone, which doesn't charge like a baby. Unlike a certain LG. So we have our display manager. We need to set up grub. Let's install it. So we do grub install. Grub dash install, excuse me. No space between dash and install. It looks misleading there. Don't believe it. There's no space. Grub install /SDA. Usually you should just be able to type in the main device. Don't do like SDA1 where we have the boot partition. Just do /dev SDA. It automatically looks for it there. And if you do /SDA1, it confuses it and it goofs up. Installing for an i386 PC platform, and if it returns no errors, then we should be good. No error reported, baby. That's how you do it. So now we got to make the config. Don't get too cocky yet. Grub make config of mount 2 mount boot. No. It's boot grub.cfg for config. And I believe that's good. It might just be a slash. I forget. Alright, that's done. Let's exit. Is that all we need to do? We've got our display manager. We have a desktop environment. We have grub, so we can boot in. We have our greeter for the display manager. Yeah, I think that's good. So then we just type, you gotta make sure you type exit. I'm not sure if I talked about that. Just type exit to get out of your changed root into the ISO. And then type reboot. So while you have the USB in, it's gonna boot the ISO again. If you chose to have the ISO, like if you chose to have your USB stick boot, so it's gonna give you this again. So you can just go to boot existing OS. Welcome to grub. See, look at that. Arch Linux with core repo kernel, all of this junk. Let's go with Arch Linux with core repo kernel. Device, I need to load the kernel first. Okay. Fall back in NetRAMFS. Oh no, Arch Linux, excuse me. Just go to regular Arch Linux. There we go. Fixed it. You proud of me? And it looks like the screen's a little bigger now, so we've got to fix this again. Where's the bottom? Put you over here. There we go. We should be able to read everything here. Oh, jeez. It's way up there. We didn't, excuse me, we didn't enable the display manager yet. So, I'm gonna hit Control C. Nope. Yep, there we go. So we're just going to root. You guys aren't gonna have to do this. We're not going to use that reboot thing yet. We gotta make sure we fix one more thing back there before we hit reboot. And I'm gonna go back there and fix it real quick. Myself out of here. I'm just gonna type reboot. Okay, so let's pretend like we never left the Arch ISO. Let's just pretend. A little game. We never left the Arch ISO. Let me move this around a little more. There we go. That's a little better. So we're just gonna boot the Arch ISO like we never even got out and tried to log in that first time. Sorry about this, guys. I thought I had it all figured out, and then I remembered. We need to enable the, oh geez, what is it? The display manager. We need to enable LightDM. After that, we'll be good. Why does this part take so long, man? How much has this charged? It was at 15, and now it's at 16. Are you kidding me? You dropped the light down all the way. That helps. Let's take a picture of the stream. Alright, so it's going to log us into the red root at Arch ISO. We never rebooted. You guys didn't see any of that. There we go. So, let's pretend like we already had this mounted. Make sure I have the right discs. Disk L. So SDH3. Alright. 3 to mount. Swap on. SDA2. Alright. Change root to mount. Now, we're going to do systemctl space enable space LightDM. Alright, and now I am... So LightDM is enabled. So now when we start it up, it's going to give us a nice login screen instead of the terminal saying login and where I typed in root and all that junk. It's not going to give you that. It's going to give you a login screen with the first user you created. So in my case, when I created the Park City account, that's what's going to be shown. First, if there's a bunch of users, I think it lists them in the order they were created. Or alphabetically. I don't know, I've only had one user on my laptops the entire time because I'm the only one who goofs with this in my house. So, we have LightDM. We have a good greeter for it, which is just the regular GTK greeter. It's customizable. Like, you can use themes that you download and everything for it too. It's nice. So we're also, let's check netctl. Netctl list. This is just going to list our. Okay, so we don't have a stuff. Nice. XFCE should have its own network manager. Oh no, we have to get network manager. Excuse me, I don't know what I'm saying. We need the network manager. So, in change root, pacman s for install, we're going to get network manager and nm-applet. Oh, I think nm-applet might be a pack AUR thing. We can get that once we get XFCE. I'll set that up later. We can do pack AUR later. Okay, maybe it's network manager. Right? Is that it? Nope. Let's sync databases and try. Wow. Is it network manager? No dash? Yep, that's it. Ah. Come on. Yep, proceed. Oh, it installs WPA supplicant for you. That's helpful. It's nice. Boo boo boo. Ba da ba da ba ba. Ba da ba da ba. Oh, mode manager. Modem manager, excuse me. Cellular network support. That's pretty cool. Alright. I'm not gonna install Bluetooth stuff. I don't need Bluetooth right now. I don't even know if it works from VirtualBox to your phone, so we'll leave that alone. But you can get Bluetooth for Arch Linux too. Okay, we have our network manager and everything now, and we've enabled our thing. Let's enable. Nah, I don't need to do that. Let me. No, I'm not doing Pac-Man. System CTL. Now that we have network manager, we can disable netctl. Because we don't need it because we have network manager. netctl is another thing that helps you manage networks, but it's very command liney and it's a little troublesome for people. So exit that. Now that we have everything all taken care of, reboot. Let that do its thing. And then we go down to boot existing OS. This should be different now. Well, not this part. This is going to be the same. We go down to Arch Linux. It's looking good. Yo, why is it so weird? It's so big. 1 minute. Let me scoot this down here. Smaller. Oh, that's a mouse. Look at that. We have a login screen. Hello. Let me scoot this here. I'm not sure. Where's the bottom of the screen? There. Get there? Yeah, the whole screen's in. Good. So see, like I said, the default user account is Park City. If you want to log in as root, you just go to other, and then you type your username, root, and then enter your password below. We're logging in as Park City. So type in the password that you set when you were installing it all. Let me boot this up so that that bar is up top. Yeah, I can make this bigger. It'll be fine. In a minute here, we're going to see a desktop, like a normal, sane computer and everything. It's going to be sick, yo. Oh, there's something. We're running on a bad CPU and 3 gigs of RAM. Just remember that. For an actual computer, it's going to be a lot nicer. Alright, so when you start it up, it asks you, welcome to the first start of the panel. I just say use the default config. It gives you a panel with 4 workspaces up here. Your date and time. What is that? That's a separator. And your power menu. Like lock screen, switch user, suspend, shut down, log out, all that jazz. Scoot it up a little bit. And it gives you, oh, wow, that's weird. Another panel down here. So with XFCE, a good thing to do when you start is, here, let me see. I'm not sure if I have the whisker menu. Or PayMac. We'll get that later. So this is a basic BIOS setup for Arch Linux with the XFCE desktop and LightDM as your display manager. The file manager it comes with is Thunar, which works pretty well. As you can see here, all this desktop folders. It looks like an actual computer now. Isn't that nice? It's something you can use at work. What was that there? I only like 2 workspaces. This is very right-click friendly, which is great for me. So I'm gonna go to properties for the workspace switcher. I'm gonna set my workspaces to, well, workspace settings. That's how you go to that. And I only usually get 2. Close that. Let's get a theme so that we know how to do that. So what you want to do is open up a terminal, and this is going to be the same thing as when we were installing. We're going to use the Pac-Man syntax. This is basically that Arch ISO, but it's in a box for us. We have a window now that we can do it with, and we can use the actual computer outside of the terminal. That's what makes this cool. So I'm going to type sudo because Pac-Man requires root. Oh, you know what we don't have? This is kind of important. We don't have sudo access. So, when we log in, here, let me log out. We're going to log into the root account. Log out. Because we don't need to boot the Arch ISO anymore to do system stuff, because we have this up and running, and we have a terminal for it. There's LightDM started up. So we're going to go to other, root, and we're going to type in our root password, or the system password. We good? Enter. There we go. And you can get a background image and everything after that. I'll get into that later, like I said, with ricing and crap like that. Oh. And if you're logging into the root pass, or the root, why did I say pass? The root, not partition, the root user account. There we go. It's gonna give you the config thing again, and it totally maximized my window size here. So let me fix this. There. And then I'm gonna go until it's I guess that's fine. I've got VirtualBox running here, so it makes it a little difficult. I could do full screen, but I don't really feel like it. I feel like that's going to hurt my system too. So let's just leave it alone. Lock that. So, use default. And it's going to generate panels. It's going to take a little bit because it just takes a little bit. So, you're going to want to install Vim just to make sure that you have it. So as you can see, it gives you a hashtag here instead of a regular. Let me turn up this font size so you can see what's going on here. Preferences. We're going to want to appearance. Monospace regular is a fine font. We're going to set the font size to like 16. Monospace bold that too. Select. Alright, just so you can see it. I personally would never use a bold font like this. See, that's easier to see there, yep. Alright, we're good. So, you have a hashtag up here instead of a $, which means that you are root. Hashtag means root. $, means you're a regular user. So we're going to do pacman-s vim. And once we get vim, we're going to add the user account we made. Park City is what we named it. And we're going to make sure that they can use sudo. And what sudo is it allows you to use root permissions, but with another account that's not root. We're going to get that. Alright, so we got Vim. Same controls, so Control L to clear it. And what we type in is vi sudo. Vi sudo means use Vim to edit your, or use your default editor to edit the sudo thing. But I think it uses Vim by default. And as you can see there on the, where's my finger pointing? Down there on the bottom, I think I'm pointing right to it. It says, usually a little tilde, or no, it's quotes. And it says edc sudoers.temp, 97 lines, yada yada yada. So what we're going to do is scroll down until we see root. There we go. Root, all equals all, space, all. That's where we're putting our name. So we type S to insert. And then we type, oh no. With this old version of Vim, I think you type O. And that makes a new line. So then we type in Park City, that was our name, in caps, all equals, open parenthesis, all, close the parenthesis, space, and then all again. So then we hit escape, colon, W, Q, at the bottom, and then we hit enter. So colon is like entering commands into Vim, telling it whether we're gonna, you know, save it, whether we're going to delete something. The W stands for write, so it means we're going to save it, and then the Q stands for quit. So colon WQ, or it's escape, then colon WQ. Enter means you write and quit. So now, let me close this terminal here. The user Park City can use the sudo command, and I can use pacman and stuff now on the Park City account, even if I have a $sign in front of my name. So we're going to log out. Log out. How long has it been, man? It's been 2 hours altogether. Jeez. So, Park City is our default. Type in your password to log in. And it's filling up our panels and everything that we generated, giving us the desktop background and our desktop apps that we had open. All right, that's good. So now we're going to open up a terminal. All right. Kind of, can you read that? It's a little hard to read. Let me up the font again. Edit, preferences. Come on. Don't play with me. Let me scoot my phone off that. It looks like it's interfering with something. Appearance, monospace regular. Let's change that to sans bold, actually. I like sans bold. And we're going to make it 14. Select. Sans bold at 14 is pretty big, man. Alright, that's going to resize. And then we close. Wow. My text is not aligned there. We've got to go back to the monospace font, I guess. Some fonts look really weird with the terminal. Just letting you know. Don't get anything fancy like a Gothic font. I would not do that. So, appearance, we're just going to make it up. Come on. There we go. Monospace. Bold. Select. That's a little better. Okay. Close. Yeah, now the text isn't all jammed together like it was with sans. So, to use root stuff, you type sudo before your command, and it'll prompt you for a password after you execute the command. And that just means, okay, you're allowed to use root permissions, but I gotta make sure it's you. So it gives you a password prompt. So we go sudo, and then pacman s. What were we getting? A theme. So I can show you how to theme stuff. Pacman s, and we're going to get Adapta GTK theme. That's a really good theme. I like it. So see, it says sudo password for Park City. You type in your password. It's not going to show it. That's a security measure. So if you don't see anything happen while you're typing, don't freak out. You're typing. Just make sure you know what you're typing because it's not going to show you. And then enter. Verifies the password. And then proceed with installation. Hit enter or Y enter. I'll do that for you guys. And as you can see, we have an internet issue. Isn't that wonderful? So hit Control C if it gives you that garbage. Let's look. Where do I have Network Manager? I don't have Network Manager. So let's do sudo systemctl. So we disabled netctl. We're going to have to re-enable it because Network Manager isn't working like I want it to. So systemctl enable netctl. There we go. So now we do sudo netctl list. Nothing. So we're in VirtualBox right now, and networking is a lot different. So this part we're not going to pay much attention to because I just didn't shut everything off and do it like a normal computer. I let VirtualBox handle the internet. So we're going to do sudo netctl edit. Oh, my neck. Man, I've been sitting here for 2 hours. It's not good. Feels bad, man. CTL edit, and then we're going to just name our profile ETH for Ethernet because it's using a virtual Ethernet cable. Yep. And then we're just gonna hit. We're gonna type period there. We'll hit enter, and then I'll type slash at the bottom. I guess that helps. or just go way down. Period. So we're going to hit X, yes, enter. Now we're going to use the cp command, which is copy. Sudo cp, and we're going to find the example file for Ethernet with netctl. So I'm actually not going to do sudo cp yet. What I'm going to do is I'm going to do cd to change directory like we did when we were doing that font business that never worked. cd, and we're going to go to /etc/netctl/examples. Okay, so see, it put us in examples. If you look there, where is it? Right here. That says examples. Let me pop this open here. Yeah, you can read what's going on there. I'm looking at the stream on this. I can't show you, it doesn't go that far. Oh, wait, it does. Ha, there we go. I put the stream open here. So we're in examples. We're going to type ls, and ls is list. So it shows everything in that folder that you're in, or that directory. ls, and then hit enter. So it gives us a whole bunch of options here. We have, under Ethernet, there's Ethernet custom, DHCP, and static. And there's also wireless WPA if you're using a WPA connection, but we're not doing wireless. We have a fake Ethernet cable that VirtualBox gives you, and it tethers it to your computer. So we're going to use Ethernet, and we want it to dynamically set the IP address. So it's Ethernet DHCP. We're just going to select that, save ourselves some trouble. We're going to right click and then go to copy. So now we're going to use sudo cp. Sudo cp, and then we're going to paste. So we're going to copy the file Ethernet DHCP space, and that ends the name of that file. And we're going to copy it to etc, move my mouse, netctl, and we're just going to call this eth. Actually, we'll just name it Ethernet. That'll make it easier to understand. Alright, so we copy it to Ethernet, hit enter, it's copied. So now let me just, you're not going to be doing this unless you made this eth file. rm is to remove, etc netctl eth. We're going to get rid of that file. Yes. Alright. Oh, the permission is denied, so you need to use sudo rm to get permission. There we go, now it's gone. So if we do, let's cd back into where we normally go. So that little squiggly line there means your home folder. So you, from the root, it goes /home/ whatever your name is, and that's your home folder. If you type in squiggly, it means all of that. There. And it shows you that you're changed into the squiggly directory, which is the same. So if I type ls, all I have is my desktop folder right now, which is shown right there. So now we're going to do netctl list, and see we have Ethernet. That's our one profile that we made, and we copied the file over. So now let's do netctl edit Ethernet. And see, now we've got a whole bunch of crap in this file. So I'm not sure what our Ethernet interface is, so we're going to have to check that. What you can do here is you type Control Shift, or you just press Control Shift T, and that makes a new tab. So as you see, there's nothing here, but if we go over to this tab up here and click, it brings us back to Nano, because that's where we are on that tab. So on a separate tab, or if you pull it out, you can make a separate terminal. See, it's there. Let go, and it makes another window. You're going to type sudo, and then you're going to type to list your interfaces IP link. Type in your password. So we have ENP0S3. That's the VirtualBox Ethernet cable. So what we have to do is we're going to copy that. Right click, copy. We're going to get rid of this, ETH0, and then replace it, paste that in, with ENP0S3. And the rest should be fine. So we're type Control X, yes, and enter. Permission was denied because we didn't use sudo. So we've still got that ENP0S3 copied, so we can type Control X and then type N. And you don't save. So let's press the up arrow to repeat command, and then scroll all the way back and just put sudo in front. Sudo solves all your problems, people. There. Now, if we go down here, and we delete that, right click, hit paste. Now we hit Control X, then press Y for yes, and then hit enter, no problems. And now we're going to do sudo netctl, and we're going to enable the Ethernet profile that we edited just now, and the one that we copied over. We're going to enable Ethernet, which means every time you start it up, it's going to start the Ethernet cable so that it automatically turns on your Wi-Fi. So sudo netctl enable, and it's Ethernet. There we go, and it tells you that ln-s, and it gives you the paths, and it says it linked it. So now we are going to pray, and we're going to type reboot. Thing. We're going to boot the existing OS. Grub loads. Go down to Arch Linux. Starting version 235. I don't know why I'm narrating that part. Oh, Linux is up to 235, by the way. I remember all the way back when it was at 232. So I'm going to take a break because my neck is killing me after we get this all set up and finished. And then I'll do UEFI afterwards on a third part. Alright, let's log in. So after you log in, it's good to just wait a few seconds before you start trying to do stuff that you enable, like the internet. Just let it do its thing. So we're going to go here. We don't have a web browser right now. Just keep that in mind. You can get all of those conventional web browsers, like a Firefox, Chrome. You can get Opera. They all have Linux ports, so you should be good. I use a forked version of Firefox. Well, I did until recently, called Waterfox. Now the Firefox add-ons have all updated to the new Firefox version that originally broke everything. That's why I switched to WaterFox. But it's all fixed now, so WaterFox doesn't work anymore for add-ons. What you want to do is just get Firefox. I get Firefox Developer. That's my favorite one. So let's ping 8.8.8.8. And it looks like we have internet, folks. Control C to interrupt. All right, Control L to clear that. Now, let's get ourselves a browser and some other essentials. So we were getting the theme, Adapta, GTK, theme. No, that's theme. Let's get Firefox, just for simplicity. And let's get an icon theme. Let's get the Arc icon theme. These don't really go well together, Adapta and Arc, but I'm just showing you so you can get an icon theme too. So, let's do that. Oh, cannot perform this action unless you're root. Guess what, folks? That's right, sudo pacman s. So we're getting the Adapta theme, Firefox, and the Arc icon theme. And after this, I'll show you guys how to always have sudo. It's as simple as just substituting into the root user. It's one simple command, and then it gives you the hashtag after you enter it in, so you don't have to type sudo. There we go. Yes, proceed. You should be good here in a minute. You know, if Windows 10 didn't ruin itself, I would be showing you guys the Windows subsystem for Linux stuff too. That sounds cool, and I haven't gotten to get into it because Windows 10 broke after I tried to reset it. This might take a little bit. Firefox, it's probably going to take a bit. Where are my headphones? I put those. There they are. Plug these in. My headphone. Oh, play. There we go. Pause for a minute. I need to wash off my art tablet, man. It's messy. I need the quality, excuse me. Quality. 480p. Okay. Yeah, you can read everything. Myself back. Oh, and all of this junk down here, by the way. All of this. See my mouse down here? Down. Whoop. There. This is just VirtualBox stuff. You won't see this in an actual operating system on your computer. And you won't see this top bar here either. You know, I could just go full screen for kicks. I'm gonna go full screen and see if this works. I think it's Control F in VirtualBox for full screen. I'll show this message again. Switch. All right. we're going to turn that off, turn this on. It's a lot easier to see. Yeah, looks good. Oh, but it's way small. Look at that. Still a big gap here, so. While that's doing its thing, I'm going to open up another terminal. Go up here. We're just going to type sudo. Actually, let's show you the su thing. So, to get to the root user while you're in another user, just type su, which is substitute, and you leave it blank and it understands you want root. So then you hit enter, and you enter the password for your system. And then see, I have the hashtag now at the end. Look at that. Look at that. I have the hashtag. So now that we have ourselves in root, I guess I'll just go xr xr and r. So that's like it's an X window thing, and it handles resizing and rotation of the screen. So we do xr and r space dash s space, and we're going to make it this monitor. So 1600 by or x 900, and bam, it's freaking out. Just give it a minute. There we go. Fixed itself. Awesome. It's having a hard time coping. And we can just close out this terminal now. Let this run. This is Arch Linux, by the way, folks. I would do Plasma, but Plasma is really bloaty, and it's really slow because it's really bloaty. So I used XFCE. The only thing quicker than XFCE is LXDE. These sound like drugs. Desktop environments are the latest and greatest in drugs. Is this pen obnoxious yet? I was holding it and clicking it for a minute. I was like, oh, something's off. Oh, and by the way, whenever we restart now, since we enabled NetCTL, it's gonna log you into the internet. So it'll be good. When we get into things like Network Manager, it should automatically log into whatever you pick, like whatever you picked last. Network Manager is great because it's closest to Windows or Mac, where you can just go and click an icon in the taskbar, and it brings up the Wi-Fi things that you can connect to. The routers, I think you call it. The Wi-Fi's that you can connect to. I'm just going to call it that. But it's a very, you understand it a lot easier than using NetCTL. And once you have the applet and everything set up, you can actually disable NetCTL and be okay. I promise. Disabling it in the beginning when we didn't have the applet made it a problem. Yep. And sink water is the best. An 18-second delay isn't that bad. Checking keyring. How much is my phone charged? Like 10%. Ooh, it's loading package files, and it's checking for conflicts. Bam! And... huh.
I need your help. Plastic on the old shed over there. It blew over. It doesn't have to be right now, but like, can I give you 15 minutes? 10 minutes?
Give me like...
Is that a game that you're playing?
20.
Or are you just trying to re-download the Wi-Fi or something?
It's a tutorial for people. Give me like 15 to 20 minutes. No more than 20 minutes.
Okay, but if it starts like dumping, then I'm going to have you outside. Because it has to get done. I gotta cover it. I can't do it myself.
It's fine.
Okay.
And we're good. Okay. So, we don't need the terminal right now. It's closed. We're going to go to applications. We're going to go to settings. Come on. Settings. There we go. And we're going to go down to appearance, which is the third one. So now, as you can see, we have the Adapta themes here. We have Adapta. Give that a minute to change everything. It's freaking out on me. 1 minute. So everything's a little flatter. You can see this change to a different shade of blue. We're going to go to Adapta Nocto, because that's not white. It's the exact opposite of white. It's a dark theme. I love the dog in here. Are you kidding me? You in here? Go out. That was rude. They didn't even tell me they were locking the dog in here. Okay, so we have Adapta Nocto. And then after appearance, here's close appearance real quick. So as you can see also, the top bar got darker and the panel down here got darker to match the colors of the theme. It does it by itself. It's pretty cool. So let's go to applications again. We're going to, actually here, let's go down here. So for XFCE, it's different than other desktop environments. So we're going to go to window, type in window up there, and we'll see the second one here. It looks like two windows over each other. Window manager. And then launch. Right? So now for the style, it says default, which is the XFCE default, which is that shiny thing up top. It doesn't match necessarily, so what we're going to do is we're going to also do Adapta Nocto. And as you can see now, this got flatter and the buttons look different. Don't want that full screen. So, we hit close, and now you've themed it. We can go back into appearance, so settings, appearance. And let's change our icons now. So we're going to go from style over to icons, and we're going to go to arc. And everything changed, as you can see. Close. Now, right click on the desktop. If you want to change your background, go to desktop settings. So let's give it a different. I'm looking here for one that we can use. I like this one. Let's use this. So just click on that and it'll automatically change your desktop background. There you go. Arch Linux, ladies and gentlemen. I've got to go help Dad before it starts raining, and then I'll be back with UEFI. See you guys until then. Thank you for coming by and watching.